Good morning. It is 4:25 in the morning, and making my coffee, have my boiling water ready, paper filter, because I like the manual effort of making coffee versus having a automated coffee machine, which is weird because if you know anything about me, I love automation. I love the idea that human beings created machines and devices that that fulfill the mundane, so that you know, in most people's cases, you don't have to stop and take the minutes it takes to make coffee. You can have your K cups or coffee pods already pre-packaged for you, put into your machine. Add the water, um, and kind of like set it on a timer so that at the appropriate time, you know, your alarm goes off, and at the same time, the coffee is brewing. You can smell it, the aroma throughout the whole entire house, and then you kind of start your day because it's kind of automated for you. I like the idea of, maybe I don't even like it, but I think it is part of my makeup in my brain, is the struggle of, doing something that I don't want to do, which is getting up at, before 4 o'clock. Um, and then, this morning I was up at, my first alarm went up at 3:15. It took me about another half an hour to actually get myself out of bed. Then right now is, like I said, 4:25 now, 4:27. And I make my coffee, and the goal is to be out this door by hopefully the next 20 minutes to walk to the gym and get my workout in. Um, it's funny how there's certain things that I need automated in my life. There's other things that I need done based on willpower. And my willpower part is, my mornings have to be done on willpower, because I do not want to get out of bed. I do not want to be up this early. I actually envy those of you who are still sleeping as I'm recording this, because it is not easy. But the not easy is why I am where I'm at right now. Um, hmm. The easy for me says, you know, wake up when it's time to wake up, with enough time to jump in the shower, get dressed, then head out. So that means maximizing sleep, maximizing rest, maximizing the things that feel good. But my reality is, no, get up no matter what, and maximize your time in getting yourself ready for the day. Even if it takes you forever to kind of like drag through the morning, uh, to get yourself to the gym, but at least get up and get ready for that. And that's what I do. Right now, I'm saying all this because I'm thinking about the world that we live in right now and what's coming for us. Um, I'm still really asking myself a lot of questions about the future. That Tesla event, we are robot, really got me thinking about the fact that a lot of us are, you know, I'm moving in automation. We kind of like go through our days every day, taking the least path of resistance to get to the end of the day, to get to our goals, to get to retirement, to get to whatever you're moving towards. However, there's a storm coming, and we have to get ourselves ready for this new space. I've been watching the videos and all the commentary. Those who were saying, it was BS, uh, Tesla stock dropped the next day. And I'm like, we're so automated in our thinking process that we fail to see the past. The past in which when Tesla first came out and talked about their first model of electric cars, and how people thought this is not going to work. There's no in the world we're going to have. How are we going to have like electric charging stations? And this car is, I mean, who's going to fix it? And it's such a gimmicky thing. Only people who have money are going to be able to do this. There's all these naysayers around the first Tesla cars, right? Um, that was over 20 years ago. And now Tesla is one of the best-selling cars in the country. I mean, like I've been in several Tesla Ubers. I've been with friends who've rented Teslas. I've had friends who own Tesla. I have never owned a Tesla. I've never driven a Tesla. Um, but it's something, the same way I've never driven a Toyota, I've never driven a Lexus. I've driven pretty much most of the mainstream cars. So for me, Tesla and Toyota in the same category of cars I've just never driven. But they're there, they exist. And I think about, the notion of the world. And everybody's talking about the robo taxi, everybody's talking about the Robivan, Robivan, the Robovan. But I feel like people are missing the one thing that I really believe was like, yo, guys, this is going to happen. We're in that world, and that is Optimus, the robots. You know, um, uh, that's not a good way to do that. I just spilled coffee all over. This is what happens when you're trying to do shortcuts. Yeah, the Optimus robots. That is what got me. And yes, we might be years away from full automation, but the reality is, um, we were years from a viable electric car on the road, and now they are more than just viable electric cars on the road. The Cybertruck, you know, um, all the other Tesla vehicles, Lucid, which is a beautiful car. I remember when Lucid was just a hot stock for a car that didn't exist yet. And now, guess what? I see Lucids every day. When I drive my kids to school, I see this. I see them all the time. All the time. Again, um, we're waiting for a viable electric car. Now we have it. Then we had a viable competitor. Now we have them. And now we're talking about fully functional AI machines that are robots, humanoids. That's kind of what it is, humanoids, because they have 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head. And and even right now, if only the version we see right now is being puppeteered by an engineer remotely, my question is, what does it look like when it's going to happen? We have cars that drive themselves, right? You can take your hand off the steering wheel and put the command of where the car is going, and it calculates millions and millions of points of data to get you from point A to point B. I've seen this. What happens when that same technology, which already exists, is not put into these humanoids, these robots, these machines? who now can take on the many tasks that human beings have traditionally taken on for themselves. What happens then? As an educator, I can't help but continue to play through my mind Elon's list of things that the Optimus can do, and the first thing that he said was teach. We are the teachers of the machines, right? We're the ones that's giving it the opportunity and the ability to take information and make sense of it. Whether we're talking about ChatGPT, which takes language and learns from it and builds upon it, right? Whether it's written language, auditory language, data points, code, it takes that and just continues to evolve. Now, what happens when that thing that's evolving is not just lines of code building in a digital space, but it's lines of code building within a humanoid frame? Because very soon, it's somebody's house out there. It's an Optimus with a name that's making coffee. It might be Optimus with a name that's holding this camera and being my, cameraman. It might be Optimus who takes this footage and puts it into my laptop and starts to edit. It might be Optimus who is my roommate and it's engaging me in dialogue because that's what I needed to do. Or maybe it was what you needed to do. I don't know. But there's all these things going through my brain, But the thing about it is that teaching part is incredible. This machine, at first thing he said was teach. I don't think that was by accident. He didn't say serve. He didn't say, babysit first or do your lawnmower, do your mow your lawn for you first. He said teach. Teaching is the most basic of human skill that defines everything else. It'll be able to teach us. And the thing to think about is that what is it going to be teaching us? What is it's going to teach us that it doesn't know that it needs us to know for its own benefit? Because if it's artificial intelligence has the capacity to learn and process and create new much faster than we can, what is it that it's going to be able to teach? I'm not saying this to downplay the technology. I'm saying this because I'm 100% curious. As an educator, as a teacher, what would it be teaching us? And what is the necessity of that being taught to us? But at the minimum, I'll tell you this though. What are we teaching ourselves right now? What are we teaching in our schools? What are we talking about in our communities? What are we doing to prepare ourselves for this reality, for this future that is coming, if not already here? Because again, remember, the conversations about Tesla, the cars, was just a snap ago. I wasn't a child. I was a grown man when we were talking about Tesla and the cars. And man, it looks cool, but that's not going to work. And now it's here. Very soon, I do believe that you're going to walk into a classroom and there's going to be a substitute teacher, this Optimus Alpha, Optimus, whatever designation of 321 or whatever it is that's going to be in the classroom, and that humanoid robot is going to be able to walk into a front of the classroom, will know all the content, will know all the strategies, will have the right voice to teach content to a classroom. But at the same time, at the instance of a moment, can forward data to a child's parent saying, this is how your child is doing right now, and not have to pick up a phone, not have to um, 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 make an appointment for a face-to-face. They will be able to, at that moment in the classroom when a child is not engaging properly, be able to keep teaching the class, but process a video like a FaceTime with a persona at the same moment and FaceTime the parent and say, right now, this is what your child is doing as I'm teaching the class, and they're literally teaching the class. You're able to tap into the cloud or whatever, if it's Google Docs or whatever it is, and grade and do all those things instantaneously. The child can get the data they need immediately. They don't have to wait for human beings to take the test score, the test materials, go home and grade and bring it back. They'll be able to sit down with a child, do reading tests, and then assess and say, this is what this child needs in that instance, and build a plan out and have that thing ready at a moment's notice. Teaching, learning, assessments, and reteaching, and that whole entire process of planning for that happens instantaneously. Think about that. That is the world that we're walking into. It's going to happen. My only question now is teaching to what end? And then what happens to the teacher? Because eventually, I really do believe that AI, the technology, the platform, will master the craft. We'll be able to put a voice that is compassionate, caring, understanding as it learns what that thing is, as it teaches children. I watch my kids watching TV and watching these educational videos, and they're learning and they're saying, Dad, did you know? Baby Shark said. So if a flat screen in front of them could teach them real information and that they're taking and saying, this is truth, what happens when it's a humanoid robot that has the right voice in front of them, which they're not scared of because they grew up in a world where technology is a thing that's normalized for them? What happens then? And where do we stand as human beings in front of the classroom? It's food for thought. All right, guys, it is 4:43. I got to finish my coffee. I head to the gym, and let me know what you think. Maybe this is just idle rambles that make no sense, um, or maybe there's something there. Either way, Uche and Joku, Sneaker Principal. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.